Hello, Extra Mile. Today we are joined with Extra Mile member and owner of Spinal Care of St. Louis, Dr. Nathan Heimgartner, and he is going to go over posture and the posterior chain and ways we can improve this while we're quarantined at home, and some drills that we can work on while we have some extra free time. So we want to thank Nathan for joining us today, and we look forward to learning from him.
Thanks, Corey. So what I'm going to go over first is what actually the posterior chain is. The posterior chain is basically every muscle on the posterior side or the back side of your body. So it includes the lats, the erector spinae, the glutes, the hamstrings, and the calves. A lot of the big muscles that we work out in the gym. Some of the big muscle movements that we do in the gym are to work on the posterior chain are deadlifts and back squats, pull-ups, and kettlebell swings. When we have imbalances in the spine, in the posterior chain, what happens is we can have a lot of injuries from this. And so if you're exercising from a point of balance, you can get strength. But if you exercise from a point of imbalance, then it can cause a lot of injuries. So a lot of times we want to make sure that we have the spine balanced and the anterior and posterior chain balanced out. And unfortunately, in the society that we live in, it's a very anterior chain balanced world. We all sit in desks like this, and it pulls everything forward. We're looking at our phones, our tablets, and our computers. So some of the things that we can do, well, first, bad posture can look like this. We're supposed to have natural curves in our spine. It's supposed to come forward in the cervical spine, backwards in thoracics, and back around in the lumbars. When we sit at a desk and we sit with our posture like this, we put strain here, here, and here, and it causes a lot of pain over time. I see a lot of this now. It causes headaches, neck pain, low back pain, and mid-thoracic pain also. So one thing I see a lot of now is what I call tech neck. And for every 15 degrees that our head goes forward, we're doubling the amount of stress that we're putting on our neck. So if our head weighs about 8 to 10 pounds, so every time we lean forward, it's more weight on our back. An example would be if you're holding a bowling ball. If you hold it like this, with the ball sitting up here, it doesn't get so heavy. But if you hold it this way, the back of your arm is going to start getting tired very quickly. It's the same thing that happens with our neck. If we're holding our head forward, the back of our neck gets tired quickly, and it starts to hurt real quick. To strengthen those, we can hold a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball underneath our chin, and you're going to go into slight extension and drop backwards, and then you can come straight back up, and you do a set about 10 of those, and come back down. And with that strengthen that deep extensors in the neck, and that way you can hold your neck backwards more and not come forward so much. So and then with rolled shoulders, or the hyperkyphosis, is when we roll our shoulders forward like this, and what happens is that hyperkyphosis is putting a lot of stress on the back also, and it can cause a lot of injuries over time, especially while we're exercising. To help mobilize the upper thoracic spine and get this moving so you don't have that rolled forward shoulders, a good exercise or stretch is to keep one hand on the ground and roll your whole body over. Corey's going to show us here. And you're going to feel it up in this mid-thoracic area, stretching, and it's going to actually stretch the chest also, get those muscles to stretch out and not pull forward so much. Perfect. This last exercise is going to work on the rhomboids and the posterior delt. It's going to help keep those shoulders from rounding forwards. So what he's going to do is he's going to pull up, rubber band, and pull it straight towards his forehead, and hold it for about 5 seconds, and then come back. And again, 5 seconds, and come back. You do a rep about 10 of those also, and it really helps strengthen the back of the spine.